Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Dr. Hyena, and welcome back to another video. So, today we're going to be discussing, as you read in the title, the Wild Savanna Recode. Yes, we're finally talking about that again. Although, you can probably look at the length of the video and tell it's not going to be a very long discussion. So, I did want to acknowledge the fact that, yes, progress has been going on behind closed doors. I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to really say, but it's mostly stuff that's been shared on the Discord, so I think it is technically public knowledge at this point. Um, so, of course, they've hired Mimi, who is the new modeler and texturer and rigger, I believe, as well for Wild Savannah. So that's great. So that way, Ludi has a bit of help in that regards because, he's always been on his own for that, which I have a lot of respect for. But no, other than that, I don't think I would say that there's been anything like extremely huge that's gone on. Otherwise, you probably have seen videos about it, whether it be like from me or Congo or Funny Ocelot or whoever it is, right? We would have made videos about that by now. And of course, that's not the case. So, what is going on here, right? I think that's quite a fair question. Um, so, as I just said, there is stuff happening behind closed doors. But, ultimately, everyone is getting pretty busy in life, including, Ludi, Ender, Mimi, Bripu as well, I believe. So, everyone's getting a bit busy, and again, myself included. So, that kind of brings me to the main point of this video, which is, don't wait for things to happen for you to go out and make things happen yourself. All right? So, that's not me saying, "Oh yeah, go storm the Discord, keep asking when the recode is." It's actually the opposite of that, right? Like at the end of the day, if you just spend your whole life kind of waiting for this recode update or something like that, and you don't have anything to do along the way, I will say I've kind of been in that position before regarding Wild Savannah. um, like that's definitely happened to me, especially back in like 2019, 2020, when everyone was kind of holding their breath for the combat update or whatever it was called back then, right? And that never really happened. So, speaking from experience, I think it is better to kind of just focus on things in your own life and just remember that at the end of the day, Wild Savannah is just a video game. I mean, maybe not always, but you can always kind of come back to it, more or less, right? And don't don't be like how I was when I was younger and let it like take priority over other things in your life. Um, so I'll tell you a little story actually, right? So, as a lot of you guys know, back in 2020, that's kind of when I got back into Blender stuff. I had done it before just for fun, little small stuff, back in like 2017, 2018, hell, even I think 2016 I started. So it's been quite a long ride. And speaking of ride, I think there was just a motorcycle outside. But whatever, right? It's been a heck of a long ride. And, I kind of decided that I wanted to use my skills in Blender, more frequently and, maybe put them towards a project, a video game, right? Now, back in the day, like way back, again, this is like 2017, maybe 2018 stuff, you know, I had plans for potentially a zoo game, which I do still want to make on Roblox, and I think I will, because I have, I would say, even better plans now, right? As the time has passed and Planet Zoos come out and whatnot. But in 2020, that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a game that was an animal survival experience set in Africa that was, dominated more so by hyenas than lions, right? So I looked into, some range maps. I looked into, some data and whatnot to see like where that could realistically happen, and I noticed in the Sahel stretch of Africa, so a bit above where Mosaic Survival takes place and below the Sahara is where the Sahel belt is. And I noticed there, lion populations are very fragmented. Now, this meant, I could just do, a part of the Sahel that's outside of one of those little pockets that has lions, right? Or include lions as a game pass was the original idea, if I'm not mistaken. So, I kind of went like, hey, this could totally work, and I got started with some models and textures and animations. That was my first time ever trying to animate, actually, was back in 2020. I think around March is when I tried doing that. And I would say, to this day, I'm still learning a lot about, how to animate things in a believable, realistic way. But, fast forward to, I would say, like, late 2021, early 2022 is when I really picked up in terms of my animation skills, and learned to animate like locomotion more accurately, and how to go off of video reference in a way that isn't oversimplifying but isn't capturing too much detail either, in a way, because if you do that, for any of you who have done it, you notice like the animals will like start to like shake and stuff. It's really weird. So you do have to find that balance, but once you have it, you can create really beautiful stuff. And I think if I had just continued waiting for this whole Recode thing to come out, right? Or back then it wasn't called the Recode, it was a whole different thing, but it was still more or less like the same universal control script that Ludi's been working on for however many years now. And I don't say that in a negative way, but what I'm saying is, if I waited around for that and just did nothing on my own, or I felt like like I shouldn't try to make a game while another's being worked on, that's a fair and kind of safe way to play it, but that's not necessarily going to benefit you in any way, really. Other than like maybe if you're like being really spiteful about it, and there's, oh, 1 second. All right, ambulance just passed. As I was saying, if there's like rumors coming about that like you just created this game out of spite and you hate the creator, then yeah, in that case you probably should be a bit more worried. But of course, Ludi and I have been friends for about 6 years now. It's crazy to think that, but it's true. I met him back in like 2018, and yeah, I mean, we've gotten along. We really hit it off, and I'm forever grateful for that friendship. And he's taught me so much. I've taught him quite a bit. We've taught each other, I would say, very mutually in a lot of ways. About animal stuff, about Blender, so on and so forth. So, I guess back to the main point of the video. If I were to have waited, none of this stuff that you're seeing from my end probably would have ever happened. Like, you wouldn't have gotten Mosaic Survival. There wouldn't have been plans for Wild Sahel or Wrath of Nature. Into the Jungle may or may not still have happened, because that's an entirely different genre. And I've always wanted a more Jumanji-esque game. And I'm very, very excited to be working on that, by the way. And that is still happening. I do want to be very clear on that. I've not given up on that idea at all. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes out the next few weeks and months and whatnot. But yeah, yeah, I think if you have something in your life that you think is like really worth doing, but you're waiting on it because you want your favorite game to update, then you're not gonna get too far, and it is going to be a bit. Again, this is kind of speaking from experience here, right? It is gonna be a bit like stale and depressing at times, really. Maybe not depressing, I think that's a little too far, but it can get a bit boring if, again, you've just got nothing to do. So I know I've said that several times, but that really is the point of this video. So if you guys have enjoyed, if you agree with me, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend for sure, especially this one I think is really important. And I will see you guys next time. So till then, take care, peace out, and goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.